The wind howled across the empty valley like a restless spirit. Snow blanketed the ruins of an ancient fortress, a place that hadn't seen living men for centuries. Its broken towers stood like black teeth against the pale northern sky. The people of the nearby villages called this place the Dead Crown, because once, long ago, a king had ruled here, a king whose name had been erased from the sagas, but the land had never forgotten him. For generations, the villagers avoided the valley. Travelers who dared to enter the ruins sometimes returned pale and silent. Others never returned at all. They spoke of strange things, footsteps echoing through empty halls, frozen shadows moving along the broken walls, and deep beneath the castle, a throne carved from ancient ice. On the first night of winter, the storm returned. The snow fell so heavily that even the mountains vanished behind a wall of white. Within the ruins of the fortress, something stirred. Far beneath the broken stone halls, hidden under layers of frozen earth, lay a chamber untouched by time. At its center stood a throne made entirely of black ice. And upon that throne sat a king. His armor was ancient, dark iron plates covered in frost. A crown of jagged silver rested on his frozen skull. For centuries he had not moved, held prisoner by the ice. But that night the ice cracked. A thin line spread across the frozen throne, then another. The king's fingers twitched. Above the ruins, the storm grew stronger, and deep within the chamber, the king slowly opened his eyes. They glowed with pale blue fire. The dead king had awakened. Far from the ruins, a lone traveler moved across the snow-covered hills. His name was Torvald Frostborn, a warrior of the northern clans. His cloak was made of wolf fur, and across his back rested a long two-handed sword known as Icefang, forged from star iron many winters ago. The blade was said to cut through creatures born of magic. Torvald had not come to the valley by accident. For weeks, rumors had spread through the northern villages. The dead were walking, livestock vanished in the night, and strange lights flickered within the ruins of the Dead Crown. The elders feared the ancient curse had awakened. Torvald climbed the frozen path toward the fortress. The massive gates had long ago collapsed. Snow covered the old stone courtyard as the warrior stepped slowly through the ruins. Every sound echoed unnaturally. Then he heard it, a low, ancient voice, whispering from beneath the stone. Torvald followed the sound and found a spiral staircase leading deep beneath the fortress. The air grew colder with every step, frost covering the walls like pale veins. The staircase opened into the ancient throne chamber. At its center sat the throne of ice, and upon it, the king, the dead ruler, slowly rose from the frozen seat, ice cracking and falling from his armor. His crown glittered faintly. "You walk into the Hall of Kings," the ancient voice said. Torvald placed his hand on the hilt of Icefang. "You are no king." The figure stepped forward. "I was once King Valdrik the Eternal." The name sent a chill through the chamber. Torvald knew the legends. Valdrik had ruled the northern kingdoms with unmatched power, but his hunger for immortality led him to forbidden magic. The gods themselves cursed him. His kingdom collapsed, and Valdrik was sealed beneath the throne of ice. Until now. The dead king raised his hand. The frost on the walls began to move. From the frozen ground, skeletal warriors slowly rose, ancient soldiers bound by dark magic, their armor clattering as they surrounded the chamber. "You are too late," Valdrik said. "My kingdom will rise again." Torvald drew Icefang. The blade shimmered with cold blue light. "You ruled once," Torvald said, "but your time ended long ago." The undead warriors attacked. Torvald moved like a winter storm, Icefang cutting through rusted armor and frozen bone. Skeletons shattered, but more rose from the ground. Valdrik watched calmly, then raised both arms. The chamber trembled as massive pillars of ice erupted from the floor. Torvald understood then. The throne itself was the source of the king's power. As long as it stood, Valdrik could never die. Torvald ran toward the throne, Icefang burning with star-forged power, shattering the skeletons that tried to block him. He reached the throne. Valdrik turned, anger finally appearing in his glowing eyes. "You dare!" Torvald lifted the sword high. "Your kingdom ends tonight." With a thunderous strike, he drove Icefang into the frozen throne. The blade split the ancient ice, cracks racing across the chamber as the throne shattered in a blast of freezing light. The undead warriors collapsed into lifeless bone. Valdrik staggered backward, the blue fire in his eyes flickering. "No, my throne." Torvald stepped forward. "This is the end." Icefang swung once more. The ancient king fell, his crown rolling across the floor. Silence returned. The curse was broken. As Torvald turned to leave, something strange happened. The shattered pieces of the throne began to glow. From within the broken ice, a small crystal rose slowly into the air, a shard of ancient magic. Torvald held it carefully as it pulsed with cold energy. Far beyond the valley, deep beneath another frozen mountain, something felt that magic awaken. Because Valdrik had not been the first king to seek immortality, and somewhere in the frozen north another throne still waited.